Support comes from Sunday Morning Cafe, founded by researcher, speaker, and therapist Dr. Tom Wagner, offering mini retreats with live music and online resources to build resilience and community. SundayMorningCafe.com.
From the St. Louis Public Radio Newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Tuesday, July 28th. I'm Abby Larico. Two St. Louis area teenagers got the chance to perform on Broadway this summer as part of the National High School Musical Theater Awards.
You come in there and you're working. My mom told me, or someone told me, but it's like the NBA draft for theater.
We'll hear about their experiences at the awards coming up on The Gateway. But first, in this morning's podcast, a note: this next story is one that might be hard for some audiences to hear. We're learning an overland couple who'd recently returned to Guatemala because of immigration crackdowns here was found shot and killed in a sugarcane field there last week. STLPR's Brian Munoz has details.
Rolando Perez Paz says he and his late brother, Nixon Perez Paz, were deported last year after ICE stopped them on their way to work. Nixon's wife, Glendy Gonzalez de la Cruz, had an active asylum case, but feared the possibility of ICE separating her from her 3 young daughters. So she returned. Weeks later, she and Nixon were killed. Their youngest daughter, only 14 months old, was found alive next to her mother's body. Rolando says he hopes this tragedy sparks change. I hope there's justice for everything my family has gone through, that ICE stops targeting hardworking people. Hundreds from the couple's village processed through the hillside in song before their family buried them side by side last week. I'm Brian Munoz, St. Louis Public Radio.
Family says Nixon was in the United States without legal status, fleeing violence and poverty in Guatemala. Zachary Mueller is a senior strategist with States at the Core. That's a nonprofit helping local communities fight political violence.
2 people are dead and 3 young girls are without parents for the rest of their lives because there was a set of choices and decisions that we are going to start indiscriminately picking up folks and putting them in a process that separates families.
ICE did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Updated data shows Missouri health officials have logged nearly 600 cases of cyclosporiasis in people here. Missouri usually records around a dozen cases of the parasitic illness each year. The parasite infects the digestive system and causes severe gastrointestinal symptoms. You've heard about them. Most people can clear the infection without medicine, although symptoms can last for weeks. Antibiotics can help relieve symptoms. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed more than 4,000 cases nationwide and is investigating thousands more. The federal agency last week added Illinois to the list of states it's investigating as part of the outbreak, which has been linked to lettuce from central Mexico. Illinois officials say they're investigating more than 500 confirmed and probable cases of the illness. We're helping you prep for the August primary with our voter guide at stlpr.org, plus our breakdowns of the issues and profiles of the candidates in various races. 3 Republicans are running for Franklin County presiding commissioner. And as STLPR's Anison Krebs-Carr reports, one candidate has focused his campaign on trust and transparency.
Sean Noel says Franklin County leadership lacks transparency, specifically in conversations about data centers. Noel says his stance on data centers is what the people's position is.
The transparency and data center thing, those go together hand in hand, right? And what I'm hearing from these individuals is it's not just like data center bad, it's we don't want them in the middle of our farmland.
Noel and former presiding commissioner Ed Hillhouse are challenging incumbent Dave Schatz. I'm Anison Krebs-Carr, St. Louis Public Radio.
State Representative Bill Hardwick wants to represent the 16th Senate District that includes Phelps and Pulaski counties. STLPR's Jonathan Ahl reports his campaign push is one of a strong conservative who's not afraid to disagree with his colleagues.
Hardwick says he wants to reduce state government spending, including reining in one of the state's biggest expenditures, Medicaid. But the Republican from Dixon says he doesn't agree with his colleagues who would like to eliminate the health care benefit.
And they think that there should be no Medicaid. I think we should have Medicaid. I think we should prioritize it. I think we should keep it solvent. I think we should take advantage of what federal matches are on the table. But I don't think we should expand it to the general population and go down that road.
Hardwick was a guest on Politically Speaking. His opponents in the August 4th primary include State Representative Don Mayhew and former Representative Hannah Kelly. Incumbent Justin Brown reached his term limit for the seat. In Rolla, I'm Jonathan Ahl, St. Louis Public Radio.
Should Illinois require identification to vote in elections? Voters in Madison County will get to answer that question on their November ballots. That's after the county board recently voted to place an advisory referendum on the ballot. That's a non-binding referendum that acts more like an official poll. Critics of the referendum compare it to President Donald Trump's SAVE Act, which would also require an ID to vote. Collinsville resident Cindy Klein-Webb spoke recently against the referendum.
We all give ID when we register. There's no reason to do it twice.
The question is worded, shall the Illinois General Assembly pass legislation to require government-issued identification to vote? Republican board member Chrissy Wiley of Bethalto says it's valuable to measure sentiment.
This allows the voters in Madison County to tell us, and ultimately the General Assembly, where they stand on this issue. Whether the outcome is yes or no, the result will provide valuable input from the citizens of this county.
Other proponents have argued polls have shown widespread support for voter ID laws. But even if Madison County voters approve that referendum this fall, Democratic supermajorities in the Illinois General Assembly would be unlikely to pass a similar bill. Ameren, Missouri is asking state regulators to build a natural gas plant in West Alton. STLPR's Kate Grumke reports this could be the first time that Ameren uses a newly legal financing scheme.
Ameren officials are asking to charge their customers for this power plant as it's being built, rather than after it's up and running. This is called construction work in progress. John Kaufman is a lawyer with the Consumers Council of Missouri. He says this is an unfair way to pay for power plants that are being built in part for new large data centers.
Those data centers aren't even customers yet. So if you're forcing customers to pay for the power plants that are being built, we think it would be more appropriate to charge those customers who are being served by the power plant in the future.
But Ameren officials say construction work in progress can save money by reducing financing costs. I'm Kate Grumke, St. Louis Public Radio.
A historic mural in downtown St. Louis is getting a makeover soon after 40 years. We're talking about the one that's the side of a building painted with an optical illusion-style mural to look like it's adorned with obelisks and the apotheosis statue, spanning 13 stories tall. That's the Edison Brothers Building mural. It's visible from Interstate 64 near 14th Street. It's been a downtown landmark for decades. Visitors are sure to ask you, what's up with that building? Well, the ornate decorations it depicts are aspects of the 1904 World's Fair. It's now being repainted, but don't worry, by the same people who completed the original artwork. Robert Fishbone was part of the original mural project and is helping restore it. He says this mural will spark new artwork in the city.
This kind of support really will help, I think, encourage the city in general to see more of this kind of work done. So, there's going to be a ripple effect from this project.
The mural is part of the $81 million revitalization of the building, which is set to open as a Sheraton hotel by the end of next year. Two St. Louisans took their talents to Broadway this summer. Teenagers Langston Casey and Julia Gerling represented the region at the National High School Musical Theater Awards in New York City. St. Louis Public Radio's Chad Davis spoke with Casey and Gerling about what it was like performing in NYC and how they're processing it. Casey, who was a finalist, says he still is.
I haven't really. Things just kind of keep happening. I'm still practicing, performing, all that stuff, so I haven't really had the time to be like, wow, I was just at the Jimmy's.
Honestly, I think it's been some of the craziest weeks of my life. Like what Langston said, it just keeps going and things just keep happening and you never really have time to process it. But I think whenever you do, it's just like, oh my gosh, that happened.
For people who are unaware, what are the Jimmy Awards? What's the significance of this program?
So the Jimmy Awards is the National High School Musical Theater Awards. And we won our rap here, and what it is at the Jimmy Awards is all the winners from the raps of the schools that participate come in. So it's 2 people from each school, and learn and compete pretty much over that 10 days. Whether that be for other secondary scholarships, first place, you come in there and you're working. And it is, my mom told me, or someone told me, but it's like the NBA draft for theater.
To be able to like put your name out there, because like you have to be able to like book those big shows and do all that stuff. So it's definitely one of the greatest opportunities that a high school person who wants to go into theater can ever experience.
Yeah. Obviously, I know that you were a finalist at the Jimmy Awards, and you sung a song from the last 5 years.
My heart's been stolen, my ego's swollen.
So I was curious, was that something that you chose? Did they choose that for you? How did that happen?
It kind of depends on your coach. So we come in with 4 song choices, and my song choices were Make Them Hear You, Moving Too Fast, Extraordinary.
I'm not the type who loses sleep over the size of the...
And Maria. That was my 4th one.
I just met a girl named Maria.
But we come in, and for my coach, he asked us which song we felt the most connected to. And I said Maria and Moving Too Fast. And I sang through both of them. And then my coach and the accompanist both had the unanimous decision for me to do Moving Too Fast because it was more fun. But for some coaches, it's like, you're going to sing all 4, and they're not going to ask you which one you feel the best about, and then that's the one that you get, because that's the one they see you being the most successful with.
And Julia, I know that you were also a part of different ensembles that were performing. You were a part of the Chicago ensemble, is that correct?
Yeah. It was definitely amazing. Charlotte Demois was our choreographer, and she was great. I mean, she's a legend. She is like one of my biggest inspirations. Like Fosse is another type of choreography that I just love to learn.
What advice would you tell your younger self that's just getting into theater?
Keep trying, work hard, work harder than you think you need to work, and you'll end up in the places that you need to be.
If you keep going, it will come to you. If you believe in yourself, it will come. And I think I was always meant to do this, and I just had to wait for the correct time for it to actually start.
Our Jessica Rogan edited that piece. For more on the Jimmy Awards and what Casey and Gerling are up to next, head to stlpr.org. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a listener-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
I spend each and every moment.
Our theme music's by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur, but right now we could all use a little more musical theater. So here's some more from the Jimmy Awards. I'm Abby Larico, and from the St. Louis Public Radio Newsroom, thanks for listening to The Gateway.